join with me in bringing Schuyler to the stage with a big welcome?
Well, that was a welcome. I've given over 350 speeches in my DEI career, and I can honestly say I have never been welcomed with a cheer squad. So that was absolutely lovely. Thank you so much to Colorado Cheer. I'm so excited to be here with you all. This is the first in-person speech I've given, or actually first in-person event I've had since the pandemic began, so I'm sure you all know the impact of just being able to be with each other, right? So thank you so much for coming out, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much to everybody sitting at home. My girlfriend and her family are at home, and sad they couldn't be here today. I don't know why I'm getting choked up over that, but every time I read about Matthew's story, last night when we were at the reception, even just being here and listening to people talk about Matthew makes me cry, as I am right now. And the thing that keeps me crying is the fact that these stories haven't stopped. Just this year alone, we've seen 38 trans people killed due to anti-transgender violence, most of which were transgender women of color. Most people don't know their names. Most people don't know their stories. Most of them have no justice at all. I am so honored to be here today to help represent a trans person of color. We don't often get a lot of space, a lot of visibility. I am so grateful to Judy and Dennis for bringing me here, and for all of you for bringing some visibility here, because like Jeff was talking about earlier, this is a record-breaking year of anti-transgender, anti-queer violence, specifically from the legislation, right? And I always tell people that the work that I do, despite being heavy, despite being heart-filled, which means it is all the more hard, right? Heart work is very hard work. It is also a privilege. It is a privilege that I can stand here today, tall and strong in my transness. It is a privilege I was able to become the first transgender athlete to compete for a Division I men's team. It's a privilege that I'm able, thank you. It is a privilege and a unique one that I am able to stand here in front of you alive to tell you my story. And I want to recognize that that's not a privilege awarded to a lot of people, and it shouldn't be a privilege in the first place, right? It shouldn't be a privilege at all for me to be able to be myself. And people tell me so often, Schuyler, you're so brave. Schuyler, you're so courageous. And in college, when people called me an advocate, I'd say no. I'm just swimming. You're calling me an advocate because I'm also transgender, but all I'm doing is trying to be myself. But we call trans kids brave when they say, I am who I am. And why do we do that? Because they're being themselves, that's it. But they're being themselves in a world that tells them they can't be. They shouldn't be. They should hide those pieces of themselves. And that's what I want to change. I don't want it to have to be brave to be myself, right? I don't want it to be a courageous endeavor for me to be able to walk the world as who I am, for me to be able to have a transgender pin on my chest and not feel scared when I walk on the street. But I am still scared. And that's why the work of the Matthew Shepard Foundation and many others is so important. It is saving lives every day. People ask me often, how do you be an ally, Schuyler? What's your advice? What's the best way to be an ally? And I say, there's lots of little things you can do. You can present yourself with pronouns. Thank you so much, everybody who introduced themselves here with pronouns. That's awesome. You can present yourself with pronouns. You can put your pronouns in your email bio. You can put them in your Instagram bio. You can advocate for our rights in a voting scenario. You can vote for people who are gonna protect our rights. And those are all really important, wonderful things to do. But the most important thing you can do is be allies to people who are not in this room. You all are here because you care, and I am so endlessly grateful for that. But the people whose minds we need to change are not in this room. The people who need to hear my story are the ones who will never open their ears, and you all might have contact with them. So the way to be an ally is to be an ally to people who are not here, who need to listen. Your transphobic uncle, your homophobic friend at work, those are the people to be an ally to. And another way you can be an ally is to participate here, because saving lives, like mine, takes resources. There was a village that provided me with the ability to even step on deck that first day and dive into the pool as a transgender athlete, and all of that took resources and changing legislation and changing laws so that I could be myself. The Matthew Shepard Foundation is doing that work, and they are saving lives every single day. So I thank them so much for that, and I hope you all will open your hearts and your purses, because that's what's going to make that difference. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.